Hello again. This is Reginald Frank Stevenson yet again. The Reginald is royalty. The Frank is free man. The Stevenson you can track all the way back to Norwegian's times. I'm the son of some weirdo named Stephen all things, and I have found quite a few extremely long distance cousins in Stanton, Virginia. Now, let me give you a little bit of tour of Stanton, Virginia. If you will look up there to that blue house was used in Hearts and Atlantis and down here in downtown Stanton. I'm going to move the camera around a little bit. They filmed parts of Evan Almighty, which starred Steve Carell, if I remember correctly, right down here in downtown Stanton. Now I'm going to move the camera around a little bit more to give you a fine view of Stanton. And I'm in Woodrow Park, and there's a lot of history behind this town too, of all things. A huge amount of history. So you're touristas out there in Stanton, Virginia, you're getting a little bit of free advertising via me. So congrats. We've got a train down here, which is a little hard to see the train track. They've got a excursion train, but quite frankly, it's quite pricey. Just a fair warning, it's quite pricey. Anyways, getting back to me and who I am. I've been preparing a sermon. In the production of this sermon, I've faced nothing but trials and tribulations, which that in of itself tells me how strong this sermon is actually going to be. I got about 4 pages of material right at the moment. I've got at least one thing I have to go dig deeper on and expand the section. Now, this section has got to be expanded is what I'm getting at. You have to excuse me for a minute. It's cold here in Stanton and I'm catching a cold, it seems. Now where was I? Oh yeah. Like the Apostle Paul before me, I also have a thorn in my flesh. My left foot is about that much higher than my right, and it's getting quite painful for me to walk. Now, I do have a walking stick somewhere, but I managed to leave it somewhere. So I have to dig deep into this thing, dig deep into the memory banks and find out, yo, Reggie, where did you leave your walking stick? Ugh. I'm clearly and concisely Generation X. I'm clearly and concisely a wrecking ball for i.e. Father, i.e. God, because I almost always manage to offend people, either unintentionally or intentionally. It's just who I am and what I am, and I totally accept the fact that I offend people. I've learned to accept it. I've learned to expect it. I've learned that it's just going to happen no matter what I do, that people are just going to get downright offended. Now, I have 2 ministries. Well, almost 3 ministries now. One is to some homeless guys. The other ministry is to, I won't even mention this other ministry, but I go someplace and I won't even mention the name, and I'm very intentional about building friendships at this place. Now, the other place I go to is a Sunday keeping church where I'm being very intentional on volunteering on their soundboard. But the last Sunday I was with this church, I worked on their live stream cameras, what I worked on. I'm also visiting another Sunday keeping church that meets in the evening, which I won't even totally mention what that is, and I won't even mention the family and that the family that I met, but this family, their quiver is quite full of very special children, very special children, and these children totally accept me for who I am. And by the way, Brucey Woosey, you just got called out, dude, because these children totally accept me for who I am. You, not so much, Brucey Woosey. Now, I won't totally reveal how high I feel Father is taking me. Number one, I feel like I'm a priest already. But if I reveal any more than that, you may mock me, deride me, call me out, say you're not going that high, yada yada. Now, if you feel led to, you can donate to my ministry. You're going to have to send me a check via my name. It's Reginald Stevenson. My address is 232 West Frederick Street, basement apartment, Stanton, Virginia, 24401. Right now, I do not have my full-blown ministry set up because well over 30 years ago, I started a ministry called Manna Ministry. Manna is the bread of life, for one thing. It's the bread of life that fell from heaven during the whole time the Israelites were in the wilderness. They received this manna every single day except for Shabbat or Saturday. On Friday, they had to take a double portion so they would have enough for Shabbat, i.e. Sabbath. Excuse me again. Oh, and I'm losing my train of thought anyways. So this is basically part 2 of an introduction. There's obviously going to be a part 3 introduction, and there might be more and more that I tell people via my YouTube channel about who and what I am. Because who and what Father Yahweh is teaching me to be and leading me to be goes very deep. And there's actually a very deep level to how the Holy Spirit works. And I'm not going to reveal that deep level to how the Holy Spirit works. I will reveal this. I have had one very special spiritual daughter. Very special. And I will not mention her name at all. Because I will not do that. I just won't. Someone gave her something with fentanyl in it. And she died. Whether this fentanyl was on purpose or not on purpose, I'm not the judge. I'm not the final judge. Only Father Yahweh is the final judge. Not any, meeny, miny, mo, little old me, Reginald Frank Stevenson. I'm not her final judge, and I hope she's in heaven. I really hope she is. Anyways, I'm outie. Talk to you later.